Welcome to this week's Grooming on the Spectrum podcast episode. We are your hosts, Meg and Stephanie. I just realized I already have this pre-recorded, but that's okay. I'll cut this out. I'm like reading it. I'm like, wait, I don't remember doing this because I have it pre-recorded. So
okay.
we'll just skip all the way down. I'll do the little episode thing. And then we have a very special guest here with us today, Kelsey and Sexton. So we're really happy you're here with us today. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to let you take the floor. So, Kelsey Ann, tell us about yourself.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm so excited to be here too. I love you guys and I love all of this. My name is Kelsey Ann Sexton. I'm an Ashley certified groomer, almost master,
Ooh.
but COVID happened and I never took my test.
Oh,
That's
no.
really what's
Literally
funny.
just that big written
I
test.
just
That's it.
have the written test and I just have put it
Dude.
off because I was busy in
Yeah.
COVID.
Life.
So I'm almost a master groomer. Sometimes it slips out that I am, even though I could pass the test. So.
You basically are.
I actually I did the written test and everything.
Yeah.
All I have to do is redo my Cocker Spaniel.
The Cocker Spaniel is what got me too.
Yeah. And
that one I barely passed, and I was like, that's lowering my whole average, man.
Yeah. No, I like kept getting them, and then something would happen and I couldn't use it anymore, and
Right.
it was just such a pain. And then I was like, I'll just wait until the right dog comes around, and then I just forgot.
See, that's where I've been. I'm like, I want to raise my score. And then one of my mentors is like, they don't give you more mastery for having a higher score. Why do you want to do it? I'm like, because I feel like I don't deserve it.
Oh, like it must be perfect.
That's the people pleaser in me. And I'm going to touch base on a lot of that. Like,
I'm so ready for it.
I have I'll just dive right in.
Do it.
I was born on a Friday in September of 1987.
I love it. I love it.
I think it was raining. I was pushed out because it was Labor Day weekend and my doctor wanted to go to play golf. No, I'm just kidding, kind of, I think. No, but my whole life, I'm the oldest of three. My younger brother is 2 years younger than me, and my younger sister is 4.5 years younger than me. Okay. And I have just been like Captain Kelsey. My great grandmother called me boss.
Aww.
Like I'm rules. No one can tell me what to do, but they can. But I kind of do what I want, but I don't want anybody to know I can do what I want.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah. So I've always played with that life. So it's also just been this like whole people pleaser thing for me.
Right.
And that's what made me so good whenever I was in school. Like, I was always really passionate about being a dance teacher. I was really talented in dance. I have a lot of accolades from that. And I really loved meeting kids that didn't really like believe in themselves. Because I'd be like, wait a second, I didn't believe in me either. I had the big Coke bottle glasses that you can see the future with.
Yes.
The frames were smaller. I've had glasses since I was like 3.
Yeah.
And so like everybody always thought I was like blind or stupid. Like, no. We're not going to get into all my trauma, but I would always see somebody that really didn't believe in themselves. And I'd be like, wait a second, it's okay. You have to believe in you. You know, I've always been like that. And along the way, you know, I've also been able to really dive into like what somebody needs. So customer service was something that was just natural to me. It was just like I'd meet somebody no matter where I worked, no matter if I worked at a restaurant, as a bartender, as a teacher, as anything. Like it never mattered what job I had. I worked for insurance sales. Like I immediately know what somebody I immediately know what somebody's
like what their problem is or pain point. Like,
like it's like immediate for me. Like I could just get a vibe off of it. And sometimes I'm wrong. They're like, wait a second, I didn't ask for any of this. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I think you might need it. So, sometimes I get in my own head about it. But when I became a dog groomer, it was because, funny story, I got in trouble when I was in high school and I had to do volunteer hours at the shelter.
Oh.
Yeah, I got in trouble and I had to do some volunteer hours. And I fell in love with the idea of grooming the shelter pets and helping them find a home, because a groomer that I still don't remember who they were to this day, had shown up at the shelter and she groomed for free. And
Aw.
like, well, that's really nice of you. Like,
Yeah.
wow. And she like did it, and the dog tried to kill her, and she still was like still cool with it. It was like, wow, you're crazy, but
We're magical. I mean, but
whatever. So like I was like, can you teach me? And she was like, no. And I was like, okay, you only like dogs, that's fine. So
I mean, yeah.
Most of us groomers can relate to that. So whenever I got out of high school, my dad gave me this ultimatum. He was like, college or job. And I was like, well, I don't want to go to college yet.
Right.
So I guess I'll go get a job. And I got a job at PetSmart, at the big boom of PetSmart in 2005.
Oh my goodness.
So all these different PetSmarts were opening.
Yeah.
The area. And it was like, I had to push open the automatic door, because I knew people were in there, but it wasn't open yet. And I could see them, and I was like, hi. I gotta get a job or my dad's gonna kill me.
You hiring?
Can I come in? And they were like, actually, we have cashier training tonight. You want to come in? Can you be here at 4? And I was like,
damn.
Looked at my fake watch and was like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totes. Like, I'll be right there. So I went into that PetSmart that night and learned how to be a cashier at PetSmart. They were still like hanging the shelves, still stocking everything. They had their big grand opening about 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And I was available 24/7. So
right. So they were like, okay.
Cross-trained me. I'm terrified of birds.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
They can fly. And I honestly believe that chickens are actually just dinosaurs that were too mean to die. So
I support.
Like one of my best friends, Marky, like has a whole bunch of chickens, and like my other best friends, Josh, has a whole bunch of chickens, and they're like, look at my chicken, and I'm like,
like,
they have no idea. They don't know that I'm terrified of chickens. Like,
you do know you've now said this on an episode, right?
I know.
Okay, so they're going to know now if they listen. If they listen, they can.
I feel like
Marky will
benefit. Marky will listen, and Marky will know. Wow, Kelsey, you should have told me you were terrified of chickens, so I could have terrified you on a daily basis.
Hey, that's the people pleaser. People pleaser, right? There it is.
So they're terrifying though. So I'm terrified of birds, but I was cross-trained in every department at PetSmart. The only thing I refused to do was the crickets and dog bathing.
Oh.
Isn't that funny?
Oh.
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
And look where you are now.
Yeah, look where I am now. So they were opening another store a couple months later, and they were like, hey, we need help in this department. I was like, fine, I'll go. I'll help you. I go in. It's me and one bather, no groomer.
Okay. Was it a cluster?
I don't really. I feel like my memory is protecting me, but I feel like we had like 20 dogs. But I'm not quite sure. I could be overreacting.
Right.
It was just a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Anything over one dog would be a lot of things going on for me at that moment. So
I have like never done. Yeah.
They threw me in there, and they figure, how hard is it? But I didn't pass any safety certifications yet. So like the next week I had to pass the safety certifications like right away. And I freaked out. I was like, whoa, I don't test well. Like, I don't know.
Right.
But anyways, I survived.
Yeah.
Not dead. I could still die by a chicken. So
yeah.
But my manager, one of my managers, the salon lead, comes down my cash register, and she's like, hey, and she throws her check stub down, a Snickers and a Pepsi, and she's like, I was like, well, hold on, I don't need your check stub. Like, you can't pay with your check stub. She goes, no, I want you to look at it. And I was like, oh, okay. And she shows me how much money she made, and it was like, there were like 4 numbers. And I was like, that's 1 week? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, that's 4 numbers in 1 week.
That's 4 numbers. I love it.
with a dot and zeros.
Yeah.
It was the whole thing. And I was just like, well, I don't think I could do that though. Like, I might make the 2 numbers or the 3 numbers.
Right.
But she was like, no, that we have an academy and you'll learn, and I think you'd be good at it, because I had a little doodle mix.
Oh
I
my
was one of the
goodness.
doodle people.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
Bichon Poodle mix when I was in high school, and that's kind of what made me want to go work at PetSmart anyways too.
Right.
And one of the groomers was like, please let me groom this dog. It looks awful. It looks terrifying. Yeah. So, and I was like, oh, he's fine. I mean, no.
Of course.
He looked like one of those monsters from, he's like, nah. You know what I'm talking about? Is it Fraggle? It's not Fraggle Rock. What is it?
I don't know.
Well,
did you brush him? Did you brush him? No.
With a banana. I gave him a bath. I was one of the doodle owners.
Yep. I love it. And my how the tables have turned.
So the turntables, how they have turntables.
Yes.
So whenever I first went to grooming school, I learned very quickly, and I'm a people pleaser. So like, you give me a topic, you give me something, I will master it within a day, because I can't fail.
Yeah.
So I dove in, but I sucked, but I dove in. And like, I got through it. And one of my managers at the next store that I was at about a year later, she was like, stop, I can't do this anymore. You must learn how to bathe a dog right. And she pulls me aside and she makes me learn how to do it right and everything. So from there, I really became passionate, but I was also kind of mad that she told me I wasn't doing something right.
Yeah.
Well, I had gone to cosmetology school along the way too.
Oh, okay.
And cosmetology school kind of like made me think, how is dog grooming not the same?
Right.
How come we don't learn these state regulated things? How come we have no like I learned a whole book on how you can't drop your comb on the floor. Like I learned this whole thing on like how all these infectious diseases can come about.
Right.
Can you imagine how many diseases we are like given on a daily basis?
It's kind of like the thoughts about like knowing that there's like little bugs crawling around on my face all the time. I'd rather not think about it.
Yeah, exactly. So like whenever I came back to work, I was like, well, no, dog grooming needs this too. And at the time, Groomer Has It was one of the shows on TV.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with Jonathan David, and I thought that he hung the moon, sun and stars in the sky, and Lisa Leedy and all of them. And I really started like following them. And now like this like magical land of Oz was the grooming shows that I was never able to get off for, because all the bosses I'd ever had were like, no, we need you on the weekend. No, we need you on the weekend.
Right.
And the people pleaser I would never disappoint them.
Yeah.
So fast forward through years, I left corp. I went and worked in a mom and pop shop. I have my son, Jaden. He is going to be 13 this year. Aww. And I have my other son, Jax, which is going to be 9 this year. And I was working at a vet at the time. I mean, I job hopped like crazy. Yeah. I was never really happy, because I have this feeling that like dogs need to feel appreciated and seen. And like the people pleaser in me also, like I speak doodle owner because I was a doodle owner. Like I speak the naive client. Like I have a seminar called Dealing with the Delusional Client, and it sounds like I'm talking crap about the clients, but in all reality, I'm just saying like we have such skewed boundaries with being people pleasers.
Right.
And these people just take us and they're like, I can walk all over you, honey. And so it's so much that I've learned over the years of working different places, and then not having the scapegoat of becoming my own boss. In 2016, I started my home-based salon here in the same basement that I'm in right now.
Aw. Origin story.
I would give you a tour, but it does not look the same, and I have laundry everywhere.
Oh, yep. No, you're good. I can imagine. I'll imagine.
Magic. There's pictures online. Well, so whenever I started the home based, I went from being like overwhelmed with like 20 dog days. Like when you're the vet groomer, you get some crazy situations.
Right.
And like I found out I was allergic to like very dirty cats. I didn't know I was allergic to cats. I'm not allergic to all cats, but I'm allergic to very dirty cats to the point where my face will kill me. So I didn't know that, and I found that out.
Yeah.
You live, you learn. So
yeah.
whenever like I had gone through all the different jobs and everything, and my husband is the most supportive person in the world, and he was like, you hate every boss you've ever worked for, you really care about you really care about this, like whatever her face is down the road has her own salon, I don't see why you can't. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, I messed up a lot in the very beginning because I priced with my heart.
Yeah.
If I had the money that I gave away, I swear to God, I'd be rich right now.
Yeah.
I would have never quit the home based. You know, like it was just, it was so much. A very expensive tax to learn.
Oh, yep.
And I think that everybody has to go through it. And one of the things that I really like to go on to people with is, have you guys seen, everybody's seen The Wizard of Oz, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, so, you know, Dorothy, like, she lands up in the land of Oz, and she wakes up, and she's, like, looking around, and then, like, everyone's, like, celebrating her, and she's like, what did I do?
What happened?
Do I even deserve this? But then Glinda, all Dorothy's thing the whole time is that she just wants this end goal to go home.
Right.
Well, so she has this end goal to go home, and Glinda's like, just follow the yellow brick road. And she meets friends along the way, and there's like this whole journey, and they're skipping, and like there's poppies and monkeys and like trials and tribulations and everything. And then she gets to it at the very end of the movie. She's like, okay, well, click your heels together 3 times and say there's no place like home, and you'll be home. And everyone's like, what the hell? Why didn't you say that in the very beginning?
Right.
Well, you wouldn't have believed Glinda if you didn't go through it yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that is my favorite. It's not actually the quote. The quote is something different, but I'm going to just make my own quote with it.
Yep.
You will never believe anybody unless you go through it yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel like that with every aspect of life. The stupid tax is necessary. Yeah. But the mentors of past can help you lighten your tax load.
Exactly.
And I was very blessed to have so many people that were ready to be like, quit, you pushover. You need to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
They expedited it. And it was because when I came to my own home based, I got lonely, and then I started going to grooming shows.
Aw. Yeah.
My very first grooming show, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's like 4 hours away from Atlanta Pet Fair, and that was my very first show.
Yeah.
Aww. And I went there, and I didn't know who Delise Knight was, but I knew who Bardell Bowes was.
Right.
And Delise Knight sat there forever with me talking about the best deal, the best way to buy bows. And we were talking about, I was telling her how much I love these bows and how much I love them my whole career, and how I just opened my own home-based salon. I loved her flooring in the booth, and I was like, I have to know where you got this flooring, because my basement needs flooring, but I don't want to pay for flooring.
Right. Because it's like that sponge, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's this like puzzle mat stuff.
Yes.
And it's like mats.com, or we sell mats.com.
Oh.
And her and Paul were like, it's we sell mats.com. And I was like, I bought it right then and there. Like, I got this like cool floor. It works really well. It's cushioning. Like, it saved my shears. It saved my tools.
Yep.
And like,
oh God, yeah.
Whenever I got home, I had no idea who Delise Knight was. I had no idea that she was Bardell Bowes. And then about a week later, she messages me, and we start talking a little bit. And I'm like, oh my God.
You're like,
that's
like starstruck.
Fairy godmother, and she doesn't even know it. Like,
right.
She made me feel so at peace in a world of chaos. Like, I saw all these people. Like, I felt like a small fish, and I felt like a big fish in a small pond. And then I go to the show, and I felt like a small fish in this huge ocean that was just going to eat me alive. Yeah. And Delise just talked me through it. She's like, no. And
it's
she was like
that.
Yeah. And if I wouldn't have met her at my first show, I don't know where I'd be right now. Because she just like she really did it. And she doesn't even know what she did. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was nobody, but she knows.
Okay, I was gonna say you have to tell her to listen to the episode.
Do we need to do a commercial? Because I know I've been talking.
Oh yeah, whenever you're done with telling us about you and your origin story, well, we can do it. So that way it's more of a natural break.
That's basically my origin story. That because the rest is the same from there.
Okay, well then, now a word from our sponsors. Oh yeah, let me type the time. I have finally realized
I tried to do it right at 20.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, that's great.
There's a little bit before 20.
That's okay. That works. I'll do 1945, so that way I can find it a little easier. Okay, so let's just have a couple moments, and then I'll just say, and now we're back, and then you can just keep going.
Okay.
And we're back.
Okay.
Woo-hoo.
So I start going to trade shows. I become manically obsessed.
Yep.
Which is something that I do when I get a new hobby or something. I think I'm going to do like XYZ. And then I realize I want to become a master groomer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how regulations could work in this industry, especially since I'm in Tennessee. Like, okay, maybe we might be the last state on board with that. Maybe this, that, and the other. I can't control other people, but I can control myself. And maybe I can make it infectious to learn.
Right. Yeah.
And be better. Because I already did a decent pet trim. I was pretty fast and efficient.
Yeah.
I knew I had more to learn, especially after seeing somebody like Mackenzie Murphy out in the ring or like Lindsay freaking Dickin.
Yeah.
Like, it was so good to see them like do these immaculate grooms. And I was like, okay, well, I don't think I'll ever be that good, but I can at least try.
Exactly.
But so like I just became like obsessed with learning more. I was like, I must learn. And then I found out Judy Hudson was in my backyard, basically. Like she's in the same county as me.
Oh, cool.
And she is like one of the National Dog Groomers Association certifiers. Groom Team USA medals galore. Like she's got trophies like the size of my house. Like this woman is very decorated and she's really good and she's really passionate about it too. Like she's not the type of teacher that you go to when you don't want to work, but when you're ready to do the work, she is the one for you. And like I don't want to plug her, but I do want to plug her. Judy Hudson is probably one of the best private mentors that you could possibly have. And she has, I think it's judyhudson.com.
The floor is yours. You're welcome to plug whatever you want.
Oh, good. Well, I did. It wasn't for me. It was because of an experience. So I love that woman. She is just a beautiful soul and she sees it and she can teach it like no other and she will not do it for you. You have to do the work. And that is one thing that I can't put into words how much I needed her to push me. I did leave her house crying a couple times, but it wasn't her fault. It was mine. It was me.
Oh, yeah.
Cocker bevels are hard.
I can't even imagine, dude. Like,
it's not easy. Like anybody will cry over cocker bevels or a standard poodle's crest. Like, especially whenever you're like, how do I not know this? I've been grooming for like a million years. Like, how do I not know how to do this? How could I have ever thought that I was a good groomer? But it's subjective. There's difference in pet grooming. There's different outlets in every which way. And that moment in time of whenever I realized that there's different outlets in every which way, it wasn't a cop-out, but I started realizing there were so many other groomers out there that just wanted to be pet groomers that maybe didn't care about the breed standards do matter and they make you more efficient. And I wouldn't be where I am today or as fast as I am today or anything if I wouldn't have learned that. However, there's a place for every groomer and not every groomer has the time or desire to do all that. And that's fine. And so it made me like really interested in talking to other groomers. Like, well, what are your goals then? Well, I just want to make money. I just want to be fast. I just want to do this. Well, like, okay, well, here's how you can do this. And like, I started talking to so many groomers and I started going to all the shows. And I finally realized that the groomers don't want all the expensive stuff. They want something that's affordable, that's good enough. Like, give me the dupe. Like, give me the Target versus the Nordstrom. Like, give me the this versus the this.
Exactly.
And like, I was like, so I started buying different brands and started working with different companies and like started seeing so much out there. And I realized that I'm just going to give the brands away. Everything's bought in the same place. Everything's from the same place, unless they go get their own patent and create their own product.
Right.
It's all the same. So when I found that out, I was like, wow. Okay, well, so let's find our favorite distributors with whatever and just Google check real quick. Well, I started talking with a bunch of different groomers about different things, and it was a no-brainer for me to align with Foxy Roxy Supply Company and become a part of their pro team. And so the pro team that I got to be with after, years and years and years of going live and talking with groomers and all that, like when I started working with Foxy Roxy Pro Team, it was more so like just finding the groomers that wanted to learn how to go into the competition ring, that wanted to learn how to run their own businesses, the everyday pet groomers.
Right.
Like, everybody's goals and dreams are completely different. And so Foxy gave me the platform to feel like I could talk about XYZ.
Yeah.
I could do this without having to really be a salesperson of sorts.
Right.
I didn't have to work behind their booth. I didn't have to go buy this shear, buy this, buy that. It was more so like, let's talk about this. The seminars, the retreats, the different things that they offered, I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And just meeting everyday groomers and finding out what their goals are, because everybody is so different. And with that, in that time, I was already writing articles. I was already writing articles for Groomer to Groomer.
Nice.
And they approached me to become a speaker.
Aww.
And I could talk to a brick wall. So to be told that they would love to pay me to come to talk, I'm like,
yeah.
You could pay me Pez.
Right.
So whenever I designed my Dealing with the Delusional Client class, and that was my first class at Groom Expo in 2021, the first one back. Was that 2021?
Oh, nice. Yeah, 2021.
First time. I've never been afraid to talk on a microphone, to be honest, because my grandfather and my grandmother had a karaoke business, and I was the kid that would go and like be like, who's next? I would sing the McIntyre's Fancy with a acrylic in my hand at like age 9. So like, it was no problem for me. But at the same time, in a group of peers that I respect, that I feel like we're all in the same journey together of sorts, the aftermath is what I was worried about. How I would be received.
Right. Exactly.
Because of me being such a people pleaser, I want so many people to receive me well. And I feel like that's a lot of human situations. You want to be received really well.
Like all 5 stars. That's the only option.
Why not? But also at the same time, I don't want everybody to just tell me good job.
Well, right.
And then never talk to me again, So it was like putting myself out there was so hard, because I could get some real constructive criticism, but you never know what's real and what's not.
Right.
And so like going through all of that was like a huge emotional process for me. The year of 2022 for me, my favorite number is 2. Okay. So 2 repeating itself so many times, you would think that would be like an epic year for me, but it was actually kind of sad. I went through a lot of growth, and I felt very alone. Yeah. And I felt like I didn't know who I was. Yeah. Because I was like cocooning myself into this like growth. Yeah. I was like a butterfly, Kelsey.
Now you're emerging as a butterfly.
Yeah, well, I'm still kind of stuck in the cocoon.
Oh. You got some air coming in at least.
It's better all the time. Barkley had me take over their CPR first aid class. And like with that one, I was terrified, because that's saving lives. And like, I want to make sure that people leave my class with an understanding of like what they're going to go home and practice. Right. And I want them to go home and practice all of that. And so like, I would come home, and I can't tell you how many hours I spent on the computer, like answering people's questions, doing this, that, and the other, and like hoping to God that they like understood it. And then to get such good feedback too, and being nominated Barclays Speaker of the Year. My first year speaking, I was nominated Speaker of the Year. Not
even up and coming.
I skipped up and coming, so I basically won up and coming in my head.
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah. No, I feel
sorry,
like
Jay Batista, I love you, but
we're sharing the title, bruh.
We're sharing the title, bruh. Because
Mine now.
Whenever I got that, I was like, well, what's so funny is all my friends in their little Foxy Roxy group chat were like, congrats, Kelsey. And I was like, or congrats, so-and-so, congrats, so-and-so. And then someone said, oh yeah, congrats, Kelsey. And I was like, what did I get? And I like, look, and I go and I can't find myself an up and coming speaker. And I was like, what are they just being funny?
Oh, and then you like scrolled and we're like,
up and I was like,
oh.
what? Oh no. Oh no. And one of the things that I learned throughout my whole life is you don't get something you don't ask for.
Yeah.
And you don't get anything if you don't communicate that you need it. And I try to instill that. I've got my 2 boys, and I've any groomer that ever comes to me for a private lesson or anything, you do not get something if you don't know what you want. Okay. And you do not get something if you don't ask for it.
Yeah.
And even if you're not sure of what you want, there's no way to find out than to get something you don't want.
Right.
So I always push that. And that's been my biggest advice that I could ever give anybody to overcome any of your fears, is just to clearly define what you want and ask for it.
Yeah.
Nobody, what are they going to do? Say no? Okay, cool.
Well, yeah,
go to somebody else.
Worst case scenario. Yeah.
Yeah. Worst case scenario is it doesn't work out and you just work harder and you get it later.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's been a big journey for me. And I fake it till I make it a lot. Like, and I love Blake, and so I got to say fake it till I Blake it.
You got to tell him to listen.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to listen to this.
I'm here. I'm not leaving. Like, I want what I want. What do I have to do to get there? They're either gonna get so sick of you that they give you what you want, or they help you go where you need to go to start to get what you want.
Right.
And that's how I roll. So yeah. And now I own a salon.
Yes.
I had employees.
Oh. I
decided I'm really bad at my boundaries, and I love them so hard. To be on the professional side, even though I'm anybody that's ever worked with me or been my friend or anything, I veer not very much on the professional side. I care so much about this industry and the groomers in it, and I care so much about individual groomers that like I let people just do whatever they want. As a business owner,
it was just not healthy for you.
Yeah, it's not healthy for me. It's nothing against them. It's nothing against anything that they possibly did, even if they like took advantage of it, whatever. It's human nature, and like there's no harm, no foul with any of whatever happened. But at the same time, I had to like sit down and go at tax time, especially. I have a joke that everybody gets fired in February, and it kind of comes true. Well, like if they're not pulling their weight, you know,
right.
Because I review it on, I'm going, man. And then I'm like sitting here thinking to myself, is this a person that wants to do this?
Right.
Is this something? And you know, I have a lot to grow within myself before I feel like I'll step into this like boss lady position.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I opened this salon so I could be a boss lady.
Right.
And I think I'm just gonna restructure it to just kind of get my life together and have a space for private lessons and all that. So I wanted to have groomers, and there are personality types that can do that like right off the bat. It takes a lot because I'm not very confrontational, and you have to be confrontational as a boss.
Yeah. So you don't even have like a bather or anything. It's just
I have a bather. No, I have support staff. I have support staff. My bather is a unicorn. And you know what's crazy is, and I don't even care if they're watching this, and if they get offended, so be it.
I love it.
All of the groomers that have ever worked for me, when they're in the bather or prep tech position, they're phenomenal, top notch. Something happens when they move into the groomer position in my salon. And that's what I need to figure out what's wrong.
What's going wrong there, so you can then.
It could be me. I could be micromanaging too much. I may need to tweak how I behave. I may need to step back, or I may need to not worry about them making XYZ and worry about them doing XYZ for like a learning experience. Because there's really like, as greedy as this may sound as a business owner, if you're not making any money as a business owner, like what are you doing?
Well, yeah, you shouldn't. Like you're not a nonprofit. You're like all of these businesses, like our businesses, we're here to make money.
I am totally here if anybody wants to pay me to teach, like all day, every day. But whenever somebody is making $20-$25 an hour, I need you to clear XYZ per hour in dogs.
To actually make it
sit there and then sit down on your phone and go outside and smoke a cigarette and then do this and do that or not show up. And that's the hard part. It's like the growth, the journey. I get it. I get it so hard. And I love them. I love all of my past employees, and like I'm still close with a lot of them after time passes.
But, after you gotta let it settle.
Yeah, I don't touch it. Like I'll let them process it. If they come back to me, I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, good. Don't hate me.
I've been waiting.
I love you. I'm sorry. Like I still want the best for everybody that has ever worked with me or anything. Even if it could be deemed if I did them wrong or they did me wrong, it doesn't matter. Like it's all a part of the growth process. Sometimes you got to be the villain to be the hero. So it's just, it is what it is. But so now I'm in like this cool space that has like so much square footage. I don't even remember. I blocked it out because my brain's protecting me from hurting myself. I've got enough. I've got enough to host seminars and do all this other stuff. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to host seminars. I'm going to do XYZ with my support staff. I'm going to, I've got 3 private lessons already scheduled for March. They're coming in on my days off. Woo, woo, woo.
So no longer days off.
Huh?
I said, so no longer days off.
Well, I kind of structured it to where I took a random Wednesday off and a random Tuesday off instead of that. Okay. So I'm working because most of the time I work Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay. So you're not working.
If I have a private lesson, I'm working on Monday or Sunday, but instead I take a Tuesday or Wednesday off. So I've got it structured. Structured. I had to have some difficult conversations with some clients that maybe weren't like that great of a fit. Right. That I felt like I wasn't doing them any favors by offering them the spot anymore. Yeah. And that's not hard for me. Client communication, I can break a client's heart because I know what I can do for them to find them somebody else that's going to do what they want. Right. I got to learn how to communicate with staff the same way.
It's just different.
It's so different. And it's hard, but it's a process. And I feel like I'm going to learn it someday, maybe. Yeah. And if I don't, maybe I'll just be a teacher at some prestigious school somebody opens in Nashville that I don't have to foot the bill for. Hint, hint.
I mean, yeah.
Hint, hint.
Yeah, for anyone listening.
Yeah,
who's in Nashville.
Anybody that's listened thus far that thinks that I'm great and fun and a really great time. And
or maybe Stephanie will open a second location.
There's that. I keep on wondering. I keep on telling my husband,
I gotta make some money first.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, we gotta get the first one.
I said to myself, like, I really wanted, like, my big dream, because I took like a couple different business classes over the years. Yeah. And like I did Jess Rona's Business Magic, loved it so much. But in that time, I kept on lying to myself. Oh. I really did, because like I wanted so badly for this dream of a business that I thought that I had started to work, when in all reality, I was really pushing against it. And so Jess and I actually talked at Groom Expo West, and like I started processing a lot. I'm going to go therapy. I'm going to figure all this out for myself and then go from there. But this big dream of mine is to have this big space that has room for groomers to come and learn. Right. I just don't know how to pay for it.
Oh, yeah. That's the hard part.
I gotta find me a sugar daddy that doesn't want anything because I'm married. So
I'm like, I need a sugar daddy that doesn't want no sugar.
Like, yeah, I got cute feet.
Or a sugar mama. I'm not biased. Like,
I'm not biased. I'm straight. I am not pan. I'm not nothing. But I am not against somebody that wants to pay for something.
Like, you want me to just talk to you every day? Like, give you some casual conversation? Okay.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Not hooker stuff, but like pictures.
Right.
I have boundaries. I'm working on.
Yeah.
Like, do I need to just pretend to be your girlfriend? Like,
the furthest I've gotten is I can groom their dog. So.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
There. I think we all got there. Oh, I feel like I talked a lot, and I feel like I'm gonna read this back and go, why did I skip over 2012? Like,
Oh. No, it's okay. It's okay. This is actually a great time to go ahead and listen to another commercial. So yes, now a message from one of our sponsors. I love how like Stephanie does that too. Oh yes, look at Nibbles.
And the dog.
Well, it's Nibbler, but I call him Nibbles. I hope he doesn't mind. He had his gray spots freshened up.
I like him.
That's why
he's got eyebrows.
That's why he looks like Charlie Chaplin.
Ooh, okay, I'm not losing it.
Meg, did you ever talk to the Washington Association to see if he can be in the kissing booth?
We have a board meeting Monday.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask.
Nibbler needs to be in the kissing booth.
Everybody. Yes. Okay. All right.
Because Nibbler's coming to Tacoma.
Right. So when we come back from this one, I'm trying to think of what to ask you, or do you have more to like?
I can come up with something, or you can ask me something.
Well,
because you deal with anxiety, right?
We should talk about like how you handle the shows and speaking.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like if you're comfortable explaining like your neurodivergency and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I was wondering how we were gonna pull this into the spectrum.
I don't know. I was just like, we'll just see where it goes. But okay, then if you just give me a couple moments of silence.
Meg is never casual like this. I think she's broken.
Well, also though, like so this is only our second guest speaker episode. So like when we just do a regular episode, I have like almost a script. Like I have an outline broken down. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to do. I'll just let you take the floor.
If I
talk about what you want.
All over the place, you could just calm me down.
Oh, I don't care. No. I mean, really, as long as we touch on neurodivergency, like it's fine.
Then it sells.
It all relates.
Yeah.
It all relates. Okay. So we'll take just a moment. And we're back. Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
So one thing about me is I have a lot of past trauma from some relationships. I got married fresh out of high school to a Marine. It didn't work out. Loved his family. I didn't divorce them, but I divorced him very young. And I had that stigma about me. And with my people pleasing and everything else, I realized later in life that a lot of my symptoms of everything was because I was very ADHD. But everybody wants to tune that into a depression. When I had both of my kids, every doctor that I saw for anything was like, "Oh, honey, you have caregiver stress." I was like, "I don't take care of them though." Like everybody else. Like I love my kids so much and I take care of them, but like I'm not the only person. I have so much help. Like I'm not the only person. I'm mom.
Yeah.
I'm mom. And I do all these things, but I work, I have a life, I dance, I eat well, I exercise, I do everything right. And then they're like, you're depressed and you have caregiver stress. And they put me on like Xanax, they put me on Zoloft, they put me on all these different things. None of it helped at all.
Yeah.
That's okay if it works for somebody, but I found out very quickly within myself that it didn't work for me.
Right.
And so whenever I went to the right doctor, they heard me out and I started ADHD medications and I was doing a lot better. And then after I got pregnant with my second son, I quit cold turkey, which is not good.
No.
Not good at all. Not good at all.
Did you get the brain zaps?
Oh, I was broken inside. I didn't know my left foot from my right foot. I didn't know nothing.
Oh,
I was just like out of nowhere, just disassociation. It's almost like everything was 20 times worse.
oh
Um,
man.
it's almost like everything kind of just came to a screeching halt for me
Yeah.
with everything in life. I had to like face who I was, and
Right.
I had to like figure out that it was okay to not be like everybody else and to not
Right.
have to make everybody else happy.
Right.
And I got the right medication and everything
Okay.
was good. But I still struggle with some symptoms of
Mm-hmm.
neurodivergency where my oldest son is actually he has a lot of what is it, aversions,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he goes
Sensory.
sensory aversions,
Okay.
and he can't feel certain textures and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
his stepmom was like really pushy about certain foods and certain
Mm-hmm.
things,
Mm-hmm.
and I've tried to be his advocate for a lot of things.
Aw. Yeah.
But whenever you have like a split household in a sort,
It's hard to like
it's hard.
maintain that.
Um,
Yeah.
so we found an outlet with food therapy, and with his food therapy and with my own personal therapy, I found a lot of different things to help me cope with even dog grooming.
Aw. Yeah.
Like, if you think about it, all these dogs are kind of like they don't like certain feelings, they don't like certain
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And so it really made me kind of like
See the
seek
parallels
into
there.
the
Yeah.
people pleaser situation because I had to seek something I could
Right.
please with it
Right.
all. And so when I realized that, and then I kind of ground myself before I go into anything that I want to do, whether it be having a confrontation with another human being, whether it be going to the shows and seeing all the people, I can be on. I can be on as long as I know I have a start to finish time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can groom a dog as long as I know I have a start to finish time. I can do anything with a start to finish time.
Yeah.
The unknown terrifies me, and
Aw.
I kind of have to like just like hope to God that I'm gonna like make my own path with it.
Right. Right.
And over time, how I've coped with it really is to just know that I can do anything for 5 minutes at a time. And so I will time
Okay.
myself when I'm speaking or doing anything because I love talking. I love
Yeah.
speaking at
Yeah.
the shows, like especially whenever I do a class that I've done a couple times.
Yeah.
The very
Because you're
first
already
time
kind of
I do the
yeah.
class, I'm like, I'm holding onto the table for dear life, dry
I
mouth, everything.
yeah. I think I will be visibly shaking, but we'll see.
I shake the first like on Thursday at Grim Expo West. Even I was
Yeah.
like, so and I can feel myself shaking, and everyone afterwards is like, "This is the best class ever." And I'm like, "Okay,
Oh,
thank you."
if you say so.
I'm still shaking. I'm vibrating. But it's really just knowing that I can do anything for X amount of time.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
always tell myself, even though that time really doesn't exist,
Valid.
if I structure the time and I
Yeah.
can see a physical marking of it,
Yeah.
and then I have a ritual afterwards.
Okay.
I have to be alone, even if it's in like a bathroom stall.
Yeah.
Even if it's like at work, if I have a difficult dog, I have to go sit in a quiet room. I wear my headphones. I just have to be like, what is it, like a decompression chamber, I guess.
Yeah. 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 Decompressing.
Like a
just have
vibe
to-
room.
Like
I
a
have
vibe
to-
room.
Yeah, yeah. I have to have something that is a designated 1 to 2 minutes of me just going,
Yeah. Just
And
kind of
then I'm good.
releasing all of that.
yeah, and just release it and just not even think about how good I did or didn't do.
Okay.
I can't think about how
Not like
good I did or
stressed
didn't do.
over it. Just
No, it happened. It
it's
already
done.
happened.
What's
It's
done is done. There's
Just
nothing
like
I can change.
just like after a client leaves with their dog, I groomed the dog. It's gone. Like I
Yeah.
can't worry about what I did. I did my best.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do my best. I did it from this time to this time. You can only do so much in this much time.
Right.
And then I can decompress for this much time. I do not
Yep.
think about it again until I have to revisit it. And then when I get my speaker evaluations, and like I push my speaker evaluation, so I get like a lot. And,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I sit there and I got my hood up. I got a dark room. I'm like, we cannot have any stimuli in here.
Oh,
We are going to just sit here and we are going to read every single last one of these things. But I
oh.
separate.
Yeah.
I do good in one pile. I do bad in another, or like medium bad. I don't really get a lot of
Yeah.
bad. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. I do my best. That's awesome. And if
Yeah.
I got bad, hopefully it's constructive, you know?
Exactly. And not just like, oh, the
So
room was cold and the seats were too hard.
that's typically my bad, by the way. So
Yeah.
that's hard. That's hard. I'm like, oh man, or they're mad that it's not hands-on CPR, or they're mad that the
Right.
room didn't have the right lighting, or it was on a
Right.
Tuesday, or
So
like
basically
whatever.
all of the things you cannot control.
Right. So I take the worst because some of the worst isn't really a personal attack, and I
Yeah.
have to read it as if I'm not myself. I have to
Okay.
read it as if I'm reading
Like
it
you're reading
to,
someone else's evaluation.
yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
reading Scott Wasserman's evaluations, and like I'll send him the picture, like, look, someone gave you a bad review. Like, no, I'm just kidding. I love him so. But he like I accidentally did get one of his good ones, and I was reading it. I was like, dang, they really liked me. Oh, that's for Scott.
Aw.
But no, like I'll read the bad ones first, and then I will go through the rest of them like in order of worst to best, so I can
Yeah.
end on a high note.
Exactly.
Because if I start on a high note and you take me all the way down,
You're not going to remember, like, you're
gonna
not thinking on
remember.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And even if I'm thinking about the bad ones while I'm reading all this positive stuff, and I think that in life in general, that's what I try to do anyways. Like we always try to justify everything that we say and do. We always try to justify if we could just be like normal, or if we could just be like so and so, or if I could just grow a pair of balls and be like so and so. Like the death of happiness is comparison. And no matter what, at the end of the day, I'm the only one in my mirror, and I'm the only one that I breathe my breath, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the world gives it to me and I give it back, and like I can only be me. I can't do anything else, and I can only do my best. And so like I just keep on telling myself that every time I do anything at all. Even if I press live and I feel like an idiot afterwards, it's already posted.
You are like being so freaking inspirational right now, my dude. Like I just gotta say that. I'm like, preach.
Yes. And what's crazy is so many people are so hard on themselves because they're not somebody else. But you know, I used to want to be J-Lo, but I am not 10. So and I'm not rich with a big booty.
Right.
I got a big booty, but it's not the same.
Yeah. Right.
Like I used to want to be, you know, somebody else. And like at the end of the day, I'm only me, and I'm good. I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm great.
You're freaking awesome.
Yeah. And you are too. And you are too. And anybody that's watching is too.
Yes.
Because
inspirational Oprah. Just
I want to be the Kelly Ripa of dog grooming. I just want to put that out there. I would love to just interview people and like make them feel good about themselves.
It sounds like you need to do a podcast.
Ooh, would you guys be on it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, of course. I mean, we would. I mean, obviously, yeah, of course.
Frick yeah. You guys would be one of my first guests.
I mean, I'm down. I'm completely down. I'm like always like, sure, yeah, I'll talk.
Yeah. Do it.
Tell me what we're going to talk about so I can study.
I think everybody should wear a funny outfit during mine.
Okay. Ooh. Do I own anything funny?
No, I don't know. I might ship somebody something. It might be my quirk.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Like somebody has to be in a banana suit just to talk to me.
Dude.
Huh?
I love it. I'm like, I'm here for it. Like, okay, so I will take credit for giving you the idea. Not really. Just kidding. This is where it started, you guys. This is where Kelsey Ann's podcast started. Right here.
It started here.
Yeah. Origin story.
Well, and here's the craziest thing. Along the way of believing in myself, there's been a lot of dark times where I've convinced myself that angry thought in my head that just stays on loop. and like I can just focus on that. But like I also have the power to focus on anything I want to focus on to an extent.
Right.
And I hyper focus on what I want to focus on while I'm focusing on everything else. And that's what makes me so in tune to everything.
Right.
And it's great. It's like I'm fucking superpowers. Like,
yeah.
But at the same
exhausting,
time,
but yeah.
It's very exhausting. And like one of the things I think that you had said, you were like, God, she has so much energy all the time. No, I just know I can have energy between this time to this time. I can give my all and then I can die.
So like after this, you're going to decompress and die.
Oh, my sweet darling husband is the best. I said, babe, do you want to go eat after this? He goes, babe, I already got food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aw.
He knows. He goes, if you want to go somewhere, we can. But, you know, I just want to hang out with you if you want to hang out.
I love that. I love him for you.
Well, he's ADD. And like, so he has this, like, he twitches all the freaking time. The man. I love him so much. And there's times that he sits there and I'm sitting here going, like, are you gonna shake the whole house off of its like
I can't sit next to you.
Like, I love you so much. But he's like, and I'm like, what are you thinking about? And he goes, everything.
Oh.
And so we can talk to each other. So it's good to have a great support system, even if you don't feel like you want to talk. And no matter where our walk of life is, whether somebody be like normal. None of us are freaking normal. None of us are normal. There ain't a soul on this earth that is normal.
That's literally like an arbitrary subjective term.
It's so subjective. And it's like, it's that bit of normal. They think they're weird too. So, and they're not even as weird as you could possibly be, or vice versa.
Right.
So no matter what, and that's one of the things I tell my oldest son, because sometimes he's like, you know, he doesn't really realize that like he's different.
Right.
At all.
Right.
Like he thinks everybody else is an idiot. Like he got in trouble with his stepmom for bringing home straight B's. And I was like, okay, babe, we got to talk about this because you are a straight A student usually. Like, what's going on? He goes, everybody else in the class is failing. Like, all right.
Touche.
I'm still relatively great.
I think you're doing great.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. And he just moves on. So anyways, about my Pokemon, moves on.
I gotta say though, you said straight B's and I thought he brought like bees home. Like I was really confused for a second. I was just like,
as long as he does not bring home chickens, we are good.
Okay, bees, not chickens. This is a very important fact to know about you, though. Like, this is very important for me.
Well, like, I feel like bugs can fly because they don't weigh that much, but birds make no sense.
Yeah. Sorry. I will say, like, chickens don't fly very well, but at least the ones I've seen.
I bet they can. They just don't want to because they're so mad.
Well, honestly, like the way the meat industry breeds them, though, they're like too fat to fly usually.
Doodles, genetic, the whole thing.
Ones
they messed it up. They messed it up. Chickens used to be able to fly, but now they don't have to.
Yep.
Yeah. The ones that I see, like the pet ones that I see a lot of times, they can fly usually.
See?
Unless they're the like
well-bred
fancy
ones.
Yeah, the fancy breeds are a little sometimes unable to fly and a little dumb.
Yeah.
There's those silkies.
The silkies.
Yeah.
I also am terrified of chickens, but like all my friends have them, so I know a lot about them.
They're really cool on the screen on my phone when I'm scrolling.
Right, but you don't want to like.
I don't want to be eye to eye with a chicken.
Yeah.
Sorry. I appreciate everybody that's about that. I'm terrified.
Nope. I'm the same way. And yeah, like I learned a lot about chickens so I can talk to my friends about them.
We can cope with our chicken fears.
Like, there's like the silky chickens, and I follow this one lady on TikTok that has these silky chickens, and they're too dumb to like take care of themselves. So even when they're like inside their,
I think it's a lie.
Enclosure
I think
outside,
it's manipulative.
Yeah. So even when they're inside their enclosure outside, they still somehow end up killed by the wildlife.
Or did they kill each other?
He's inside now.
Or did they kill each other? Oh my god.
True. So she keeps her silkies inside and she puts diapers on them.
Oh, I kind of love that. I would have a silky with a diaper alone in the backyard just to see if it just like by itself. I don't know if that's really good for it. It probably would get sad and
I feel like they're more social. I don't know a lot about them.
But the silkies remind me of the
study it, I guess.
the silkies are like the one in Moana.
Oh yeah. Hey.
Yeah, and they're legit like that smart.
Just like going to just walk off the boat and die because they just don't even recognize.
I was joking around with my husband the other day. I said I have a list of approved birds list. Penguins.
Ooh.
Owls.
Okay.
Owls.
Okay.
I approve owls.
Okay.
Owls are good.
And I can't remember the last one.
Oh.
And I could not remember last night. And I was like, when I brought this up, I even said, I don't remember my third one. But when it comes to me, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But penguins are cool.
Okay.
They're on the list of approved birds.
Is that because they don't fly?
Birds necessarily either.
So does that mean you like, let's see, what are the other birds that don't fly? Kiwi.
Not sure.
Ooh. It's a bird from Australia and it looks kind of like a kiwi and it doesn't fly. It's got like a really long, thin beak.
I know what you're talking about. I know.
And it like just walks around on the ground.
I gotta see it. I gotta see it in person. So I gotta go to Australia. So somebody should like hire me to teach in Australia so I can
speak in Australia.
Yeah, I like it.
So someone hire Kelsey to speak in Australia. Someone hire me to go to the UK.
I've only approving birds actually met. So
okay. Yeah. Let's see. I've never even seen a kiwi in a zoo yet.
See? Flamingos? Absolutely not. They're sketch.
There's always like telenova drama happening in the flamingo pen at the zoo I go to. Always.
There is.
I like seeing them from afar, but they're
stinky.
Yeah. But I do like seeing them from afar because they are hilarious at the same time.
Yeah.
I will watch any bird on the videos.
Right. Because they're not there.
I'm talking about an approved bird list in person.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a fear.
On that note, let's hear our last commercial.
We had to go down some rabbit hole, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Which I also got to say, I realized too, we recorded the outro already, so we can totally say bye, and then I'll just throw in the outro at the end, and we'll get 2 byes because I want you to enjoy it.
Did I cover a good episode? Like, did we get?
Oh yeah, no, I think this is great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
and you can talk now that we have all the commercials out of the way. You're welcome to talk for however long you want. You just kind of gotta give me a hint that you're ready to be done.
Like that one? Like,
remember it's going on YouTube. All of this is going on YouTube. Just a heads up. So
sounds good to me.
Okay. Now, granted, we're not getting many views on YouTube right now, but
not yet.
Yeah.
Somebody will go in the archives back in like the next years and be like, "Whoa, y'all are crazy."
Right before I learned video editing. I'm thinking at some point I can make it all pretty. But
I watch my kids' YouTubes.
Aww.
To learn how to speak to adults too, because adults are learning the attention span of children.
Yeah.
But I figure if I can use that, I haven't actually tapped into my superpower yet, because I got too much on my plate. But like, I really want to go into like doing more reels and TikToks and stuff. And I have a method, and it's from my kids' YouTubes.
Okay, how about you tell us that method when we come back? Okay.
Sounds good. We'll do that and we'll close.
Cool. And we're back. Hi.
So, one of the things that I want to close off with is how I come up with some of my content. I haven't really put a lot of effort into my content. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I have time to record a video and I think this idea is great.
Right.
So like I'll go on my TikTok or my Instagram or my Facebook or whatever and just record something really quick, whether it want to be one of those voiceovers or whatever. But whenever I'm filming my own original content, I'm thinking in my head of all of my kids' YouTube videos
Yeah.
Like the attention span of a child is probably as equal to as much as effort as I can give after work. So whenever I watch them, I'm like, man, how am I watching this when I don't care about it? Like I'm sitting there watching it with my kids and they're like, it's this family playing video games together. And I'm like, this is cool and all. Like that's great. I like them. They're like one of the Carolinas and like they're super cool people. But like I've been watching them since my oldest son, I've been watching them for 9 years. 9 years. I know their life story. I watch it all the time with my kids on the TV.
Yeah.
And I watch it, but they are geniuses. And they grew from like the husband got fired from his job and like he was like, I'm gonna get a camera and I'm gonna do it. And that's like everybody's story on like TikTok and stuff. They just finally did it. Right. So when anybody ever wants to be like a content creator or anything like that, it's just about putting in the work.
Just start doing it.
Just do it. Like it's literally with everything. Like I didn't know if I wanted to be a pet groomer. I just did it. Yeah. I didn't know if I wanted to have my own business at my house. It sucked at first, but I just did it. I didn't know if I wanted to have a brick and mortar right at the height of COVID. I just did it. And like everybody that has a success story with anything in life, it's just because they just did it fearlessly. Right. And they thought about what it takes from the people of the past, of the walks that have gone through, or they went and made their own path off of what they decided. Right. And that's all I got. Like that's just do you.
And also, since you mentioned social media, what are your accounts? Where can we go follow you?
I'm an elder millennial and I don't remember my things.
That's so okay. No. You're good. You're good. Take your time. Also, if you're an elder millennial, that makes me such an elder millennial.
How old are you?
I turned 30 this year.
I turned 36 this year.
Why did I think you said 97 earlier? Huh? I swear I thought you said 97 earlier. You must have said 87.
87. Yeah. It's what you wanted to hear. It's what you wanted to hear.
My bad.
Because I look so young.
Well, no, yeah.
I'm Kelsey.
I'm 33 this year, so I'm getting
in the
there.
Middle.
Hey,
okay,
no,
go ahead.
Once you turn 30, there's nothing else. Like,
no, I'm honestly thrilled to say I'm in my 30s. Like, I feel like I will then command respect. Yeah.
My husband will be 40 next year, and I keep on giving him like a hard time, but like he is so excited to be 40 because people actually start respecting him.
Yeah.
So like
that's how I felt about 30. I'm like, I'll be an actual adult now.
Yeah,
I'm all grown up.
Like my 20s messed up my credit. That's really all it did. Like, and I learned a lot. It was my learning phase. And then my 30s is where I implemented and took action. And so you guys are all on the right track. My Instagram is Kelsey Ann Groomstagram.
Groomstagram.
Well, it's not
That's horrible.
Instead of Instagram, it's Groomstagram.
Oh, that's adorable. I love it.
Groomstagram. And then my TikTok. Okay. Oh, Jane. I love Jane Gallagher. She just popped up.
Oh, yes.
But my TikTok is Kelsey Ann TikTok.
Oh, cool. Oh, and so very, very easy. Good.
Very easy. I'm Kelsey Ann whatever handle usually.
Yeah.
Kelsey Ann Snap on Snapchat and Kelsey
there you go.
And on Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah. I just changed Instagram to be more like groomer focused, like Groomstagram.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I have a personal and a like business one for some reason, but my Facebook is just everything.
Yeah.
My business page is Dog Studio Grooming, but it used to be Kelsey Ann Dog Grooming, and I'm thinking since I'm going back to like a personal brand, I think I might change my whole business name again. I don't know yet. We'll find out. We'll find out.
See what feels right.
It was funny because whenever I did choreography, it was Kelsey Ann Choreography. When I started the home based, it was Kelsey Ann Dog Grooming. So whenever social media handles came about, it was Kelsey Ann whatever the handle.
You just kind of stuck with the same.
I just stuck with it.
And I'm living for the consistency. I love
consistency. If somebody makes me change my password, we're screwed.
Yeah.
We're all screwed.
I feel it. Yeah. I feel it.
I am so glad you guys had me come on. I love chatting with you guys. And I love whenever I get to watch you guys live too.
Oh, I know. Thank you so much for like always being there.
Yeah.
Yes, and tagging our commercial, like tagging our sponsors for us.
Oh, it's so easy because you guys are so excited about it, and I'm like,
Oh, no, I mean, every time, like literally 5 years from now, if you're still doing that, I'm gonna be like, oh, Kelsey, thank you.
You're gonna have to do it on my podcast.
Okay. Yes, I can do that. I can do that. I might have Facebook back on my phone by that point.
Oh my
I don't know.
gosh.
I don't know. Or I'll just be on my computer.
Your
But,
trip looks great though, where you're going to do all the things. I don't know what you're doing, but like you look like you were doing something.
Oh, like hiking and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we've been trying to hike literally any day we have off. So we've been going like just about every Friday and Saturday together. So we did that
That's
this morning,
awesome.
and we're trying to get out there. And actually, I mean, this is an episode about you, but a brand new idea that we've just had. We want to start vlogging, and it's probably just going to be called MJ Adventures, which I understand the implication, but our names are Meg and Joe. So
Sorry.
Why not?
you got me.
Sex,
But I couldn't.
drugs, and money sells. So.
Our anniversary is April 20th.
That's even funnier.
Yeah.
MJ 420.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna put 420 in there. No. But what I realized is if we did Meg and Joe, people are gonna read it as Megan, and I do not go by Megan anymore.
No.
So that's just gonna happen. So I was like, ooh, MJ. And I'm like, God damn it, that's Mary Jane. Oh well.
Oh well. It works.
Oh well. And I have like a great logo idea. Oh, go ahead.
Stephanie, what are you doing with your dog?
Yes. Oh, he's just wallowing there. He's a very needy puppy dog.
I love it. What was your logo idea?
What?
Your logo idea? Was that you?
Oh, it's only in my head right now. So I need to get better at drawing on my iPad. But the M is going to be mountains, and I think I can make the J be a waterfall, and then adventures at the bottom. So I gotta that's literally today on our hike. We're like, ooh, let's do that. So I have to actually see if I can put it into practice, but I want to get better at drawing on my iPad so I can actually design things by hand, instead of being limited to what Canva gives me. So
that is hard. I was petting your dog, Stephanie.
Oh,
no. He appreciates it.
Thank you. And if you ever meet him in person, he will French you immediately.
So you're doing Tacoma?
Yes.
Yep, Tacoma, Idaho.
I will not be at Tacoma because Atlanta is my closest show.
That makes sense. And they're really close.
They're really close. Everybody's asked me like, hey, and I'm like, I can't.
Like you just can't. Yeah, do all of the things.
I can't do all three.
Yeah.
So I'll be at Atlanta and I'll be at Intergrim, and then I'll be at Pet Quest. But I have a whole bunch of private classes, and I think I'm going to do this thing called Manic May. I already have a cat grooming seminar. I don't do the cats, but my friend Lynn Paolillo.
Lynn? I love Lynn.
Okay, Lynn is one of my closest, bestest buds along this journey of mine. We both became home-based salon owners around the same time in our journeys. Honestly, she's one of those friends that kick your ass into doing what you're supposed to do. Like, do it. You can do it. Because she's like one of the cheerleaders in my corner that's just always like, you're awesome.
No, I actually want to get to know her better. So I want to get to know her better.
I love her so much. She is the best. Well, she is coming into my salon on Memorial Day weekend, and she's hosting a cat workshop.
Aww.
And I'm gonna host a couple other people in my salon in May as well. I just haven't figured it out. Myself will be one of them because I'm free to me. So.
Well, yeah, right. Exactly.
But that's about it. And then
I'd like to plug a little bit there. The meditative groomer does travel.
Yes.
The meditative groomer does travel, huh?
And I do like to sleep in my car because I'm a weirdo. I car camp.
That's okay. My in-laws have a lot of property. If you want to car camp in private.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I'm cheap.
I sense something here.
You could also car camp at my salon. It's a trucking company is right behind me, but they're really nice truckers. They're not the weird truckers.
So
Nice.
when I'm living on the road and living out of a trailer, and if I need work for like a week, I'll do whatever you
come
need
on.
to do. I'll groom cats in your area, like
somebody to boss them around.
right? I'm like, just put me to work because I'm gonna have to make money on the road unless I somehow get like 20 elevation clients. Then I'm pretty set. But
it took me the longest time to want to let go of the last employee that I had because I really liked her and I saw a lot of potential, but she just had so much going on. And like the reason I held on for so long is because I was like, oh my God, too many dogs.
Oh,
I can't let these clients down. And so this
Right.
whole week right after Groom Expo West, I've been doing like way too many. Like I advise against anybody of my age, especially. I've been grooming for almost 20 years. And
right.
I was in a car accident. I had a doodle drag me across a hallway a couple years
Oh my
ago.
God.
Like, I've
Yeah.
got some injuries. I shouldn't be really working as hard
Pushing
as I
yourself
have.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This week I was like at one point yesterday, I was sitting on the floor like
Oh,
but the
Oh,
dogs were so
no.
good. And
Yeah.
like
It's just a lot
so
of work.
great.
It's a strenuous
It's
job.
just so much. And
Yeah.
like nothing was worth like going, I can't do this. It was
Right.
just, and we were done by a decent time. It wasn't like it
Yeah.
even went on too long. Nobody went through stress except for me.
Oh. It's like, but it's okay.
It's okay.
guys.
So yeah,
I feel like breaking down inside.
yeah. Anyways, yeah, come on over.
Cool.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm building like a little network of where we can like crash for a
Kimmy
couple
Traveling
nights.
Groomer.
Exactly, except I can't really take that name because that's kind of another podcast.
Oh yeah,
So
Traveling Meg.
the traveling Meg. I like it. I like it. I do refer to
Meg the
myself as the
Traveler.
Meg.
The Meg.
The Meg. The Meg does not try. The Meg only does.
Mega Adventures.
Okay.
Yes.
I know, but I gotta include Joe.
Mega Ventures.
Like, there's really no like cute couple name because it's either Mo or Jeg.
Ew.
Right?
The
I do
Mega
like MJ.
Adventures with Joe.
I like MJ.
The Mega Adventures with Joe.
I mean, that's why I'm gonna say like this literally happened today. So like I could listen to this, editing this like in a couple days and be like, yeah, no, I need to go with something else. Like, but we'll see. I like the idea of making it mountains and waterfall, like incorporating that because it's going to be all of our adventures and our hikes, and that's what I want to kind of lean into.
I love it.
So we'll see what happens. I'll post about it. So yeah. Anyways, do we have any parting comments or just this was amazing? This was great.
This was awesome. This was everything my soul needed that I didn't even know I needed.
Oh, I love that. No, I love that we can give that to people because I'm like, yeah, we can just like talk. Like we can just like no big deal. Whatever you want to talk about. We just got to tie it in a little bit to like grooming and neurodivergency, which we did. It was great.
Yeah, we hit the points.
Yeah, we just took some nice scenic route.
Just by talking about ourselves, I think we hit the points in general.
I mean, that's true.
There we go. That's all I gotta do. I hit all the points.
Exactly. So if you want to, we can do like your parting comment, Stephanie, if you want to say like have the deserve and all of that, and then we can do the bye at the end, and then it'll just do the outro. It'll be fine.
I love Stephanie's outro.
Yes,
she's so good at it.
What's on? What is it on? I think it's on our Grooming on the Spectrum merch sweatshirt. The half of the day you deserve, and thank you for existing.
Yeah, it's on the back of that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're good. So if you want to say that, we can all say bye, and I will end it.
Just the have the day you deserve part. Okay.
I want to mouth it.
Oh, do it. Okay.
Have the day you deserve, and thank you for existing.
Bye.
Bye.